Man, what is the dealio, y'all? You already know what time it is, man. It is Friday, and I really want to do a quick recap and talk about how I made $1,500 this week from just one stock alone. All right. So there's this misconception that like to make thousands of dollars, you gotta have five different stocks, and you gotta figure out which one is about to explode and all of that stuff. And so I'm gonna break down that's a myth. Okay. But before we do that, I want to just say if you're watching this, be sure to do me a favor, like this video and subscribe to the channel. And if you've been making money with this YouTube channel, then drop a link in the comments below if you made money today and how much money you made. All right. So before we get into it, I just got to shout out some people. Okay. So I want to shout out Mindfulness. She smacked $792 today on SPY alone. She hit some more plays too. She be doing her thing. Then we got Lenny right here. He had his first $190 day. All right, first $190 day. That's big right there. We got Big D in the group. She hit Alibaba for 103%. All right. Then we got Best Be Killer. He made over $1,000 today in the chat, but this was one of his plays, and it was a Robinhood put, and he hit 170. All right. Then we got right here Qtisha. She got 17% on a Robinhood put as well. All right. So we out here eating in the Discord, all right? We doing this every single day, and we definitely are printing profits, all right? So the stock that I made $1,500 with this week is literally one of my favorites, and it's been my favorites over the last month now, ever since they had earnings. Is Robinhood, okay? So as you can see right here, in my day trade account, we hit them for 419 this week on Robinhood. And then we have in my other account right here, we hit them for, at the top of the week, we hit them for 1,100 bucks. All right, so 1078 basically. So I swung them on Monday, and then throughout the week I did trade them as well. Okay, so I want you guys to understand that, like, if you scalping is one thing and swing trading is another thing. All right, so I do both. So at the top of the week, I entered into a swing on Friday, and I had based on my analysis, I had a really good feeling about where the stock was going to go. And so it gapped up overnight from Friday to Monday morning, and then that was $1,000. And then we traded them a couple different times throughout the week, and I ended up, getting my scalps in with them as well. Now, what I really want to talk about and show you is the support and the resistance, right? Sometimes I'll miss out on the levels. I may not be looking at the stock, where I may be done, for the day, and then I won't get in. But when you understand support and resistance, you can make a lot of money on these stocks. All right. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go into the charts, and then I'm gonna show you, what we did. All right. So I want to show you guys something. Okay. So right here we got this is Robinhood. Okay. Now I want to show you this week. All right. So this is Tuesday. So this is Monday. All right. So on Monday, I got out of my swing right here, and then they dropped and they had a bear flag, right? And then they dropped down some more, and then they came down here, and then boom, they shot up, right? And then the next day they did something very similar. They came down here and then they shot up. And then yesterday they shot up, and then they ended up coming back down, right? And then today they shot up a little bit, and then they came down pretty bad, and then they went back up. All right, so this right here is a change of character. I hope you guys remember when I was talking about a change of character, because this is a very powerful concept. All right, so I really want to highlight this whole concept of support and resistance. All right, so all you have to do if you want to be a successful trader, and I don't want to try to like make this sound like it's this easy, because you do have to manage your emotions and things like that. But I want you to understand that if you see a stock coming down, right? If you see a stock coming down, what I want you to do is I want you to look at the previous day, okay? Now this day doesn't have this support and resistance, but the next day it has some level of support and resistance, but it's in a different range, okay? So these are all ranges right here, right? So this is a range right here. So it came down and then it ended up going up. So it came down and then it bottomed out, right? And it bottomed out at this support level right here that we see at 42.12. So it came down and it bottomed out. So if you know your support level and the stock opens up and it's starting to sell off, then most likely it could be going down to the support level, okay? And then it's gonna bounce. If it bounces off the support level, then it's gonna try to go back up and it's gonna go find its resistance, okay? And in this case, resistance was right here at 48.25, right? And then the next day, what does it do? It chops around, but it kind of like bottoms out and it finds a bottom, and then it starts to find a trend, and then it goes to the upside, right? So you could, as this is support right here, right? So I'm gonna put an arrow right here. This right here is support, okay? As long as something holds above support, we will be going to the upside. All right? That's how I like to think, all right? So whenever a stock finds support, as long as it doesn't break below that support, we will be going to the upside. So in this case, it came down, found support, and then it went up to the upside. It did the exact same thing the day before. So these are pattern recognitions and its trends right here, okay? And then the next day, they threw everybody for a curveball. They didn't want to repeat the same exact thing, so they did the opposite, right? So it's the same concept. It ran up to resistance, and then it dropped, and then it came down all the way to support, all right? It came down to support, and the support is right there. So it came up to resistance, but only the resistance was just the gap. So the stock came up here and it gapped down, right? So it gapped down. Let me show you. So it closed right here and then it ended up gapping down, right? So it opened lower than it closed. That's what a gap down is. So it went back up, it came to fill this gap right here, and then it rejected off of this, and then it came back down, and this is the support for the day, right? Now look at the next day. Look what happened. It opened up basically a little bit lower than where it opened up a little bit lower than where the stock closed at, but then it came up and it filled that gap right there, okay? So it filled that gap right there, and then it rejected off, all right? So this is what I mean when I say the stock market is always trying to balance itself out, right? It closed here, it gapped down here, it came up, it filled the gap, and then it came back down, right? It found its support for the day, and then look what it did. It bounced off that support, and then it's in an uptrend. All right? It's that simple. So if you could understand this support and resistance, you can make a lot of money, a full-time income, if you understand support and resistance on a consistent level with these stocks, right? And it doesn't matter what the stock is. Every stock does the same exact thing. Support and resistance is a real thing. So if you see a stock gapping up, then it might try to fill that gap first, and then it'll go the opposite way, right? You see a lot of red here. It had a change of character here. Today was a very interesting day because a lot of stocks had change of characters, okay? Look at Shopify. It came down, right? And then it changed its character, and then it started to go up into an uptrend. Let's look at who else did it. Did Netflix? Same thing. Netflix did it. It came down right here, and then it had a change of character, and now it's going back to the upside. All right? All these stocks do the exact same thing. This stock, CrowdStrike, came down, and it had a change of character, and now it's in an uptrend. All right? What about Alibaba? This one did not. Well, it's starting to have a change of character right now. So it's doing the same exact thing. It found its support. Its support is right here, which is a 200 EMA on a 15-minute time frame, and then it bounced off of it, and now it's going back up. All right? So it's really that simple. All we do is we trade off of support and resistance. All right? When things come down and they find their support level and they start to bounce up, we catch it up to the upside. All right? If we see things are going down and it hasn't hit the support level yet, then we could get in and we could ride it down to its support level. Right? On puts. We make money in both directions. I don't care what direction the stock is going. I'm going to be making money in both directions on a consistent basis because I'm not afraid of puts and I'm not afraid of calls. Right? I don't only trade one direction, I trade both directions because there's so much money in the market. And this is only one stock that I made money with this week. All right, I made money with Netflix also. I made money with Alibaba as well, um, and a couple other stocks. Block, made money with Block also. All right, so I want you guys to understand that you got to understand support and resistance, and you have to be. You don't be fearful about the market. Don't be fearful about trading. You just got to make sure you're studying, and you got to make sure you understand what's going on. Okay, when you understand this concept, you will be able to print money just like how the Federal Reserve is doing it. All right, you're gonna be able to put in X amount of dollars, and you're gonna be able to get X amount of dollars back. All right, and also understand that people are working, 2.5 weeks just to make $1,000, $1,200 before taxes. People are working 2 weeks just to make. They getting paid $1,400 every 2 weeks, and we made that this week off of just clicking buttons. All right. It's not just clicking buttons because I know which buttons to click, but at the end of the day, I like to simplify things. All right. So if you want to trade with us, be sure to join the Discord. We're going to do this all over again next week in the stock market, no matter what direction the stock market is going into. So I appreciate everybody for tuning in. Always remember, get out of your head and go get into the world, because your head is a dangerous place to live. All right. I'm going to see you guys on the next video. Peace.